What is going on YouTube? This is Doug with Theme Park DNA. Today I am going to be talking about the Darksaber from Crimson Dawn. Now this is going to be the Clan Vizla version. There are two versions on Crimson Dawn's website. Clan Vizla, Clan Ren. And I'm going to be doing a review on both of them. This is, as I mentioned earlier, the Clan Vizla version. And the main difference in the two is one's going to have a flat blade and one's going to have a round blade. So the Clan Vizla is going to be the more screen accurate of the two versions. This is going to have the flat rectangular hilt with the flat blade. So the two most distinct things that distinguish the Darksaber from other lightsabers and in Star Wars lore is that it has a flat blade that is similar to a sword blade, and it has a black blade. Both of those are unique to the Darksaber, and it was fashioned by the first Mandalorian to be a Jedi, and then it was stolen from the Jedi after his death by the Mandalorians and used kind of as a right to power. Whoever wielded the Darksaber and won it in combat traditionally was the leader of the Mandalorians, right? Or Mandalore. So enough about that. Let's talk about this saber, and let's start with the numbers like we always do. Now this is going to be a challenge to measure. No, maybe not. So this is going to come in just shy of 15 inches long, a little bit longer, particularly for an LGT Crimson Dawn design. We're going to find a lot of unique characteristics to this saber. And you know, I just said LGT. I don't think this is an LGT saber. I believe someone else makes this. I have seen some very similar sabers, almost identical, on AliExpress. I don't believe them to be LGT sabers. And if you know the answer to this, let me know in the comments below. I'm not 100% sure. So, but I don't believe this to be an LGT saber. It just has too many things different about it. From the charging port, the charging location. This, you have to remove two screws here and there, and you take off this pommel piece, and there is a USB Type-C charging plug down in the bottom, which is unique. Doesn't use a core system. I just don't believe this is an LGT saber. And as being a reseller, right, Crimson Dawn does have some sabers that aren't made by LGT. I believe this to be one of them. We have a 2-button configuration. But we were talking about numbers, weren't we? So let's keep talking about numbers. So the guard is going to be, this is a bit of a diagonal measurement here, but it's going to be just shy of 4 inches, about well, more than 3 3/4. It looks to be, well, it's just shy of 4 inches as confirmed by my hand. Alright, width. So it looks like the emitter section is a little wider than the rest of the grip. Right, just shy of 1 inch. I've got calipers here. Why not use them? So according to this, 9.46 inches, 0.946 inches, correction. The handguard width is going to be 1.66 inches. The emitter is going to be somewhere in between those two numbers, 1.145. inches. So we've got a unique blade here. This is a polycarbonate blade. It's not a ripper blade. It's similar to the ripper blade, and it just has some black paint application here with some white crackles in it. And it is supposed to be dual worthy, and it is, you can tell, it is much heavier than your standard polycarbonate blade. Of course, it's flat, and even the blade is a unique shape. Looking at the width is going to be shy of a half an inch, 0.485 inches. Okay, so weight with the, well, no, the blade's less. Hold on, let me. This is going to be a challenge. There we go. Looks like the weight with blade is going to be 2 pounds, 8.5 ounces, or 40.5 ounces. And that is going to be 1 kilogram, 146 grams. So approximately 1.15 kilograms. So it's a little heavier than your average saber, especially considering the blade length. So we didn't talk about the blade length. Let's look at that. Blade length on this, to the largest portion, well, it's going to be about 33 inches, but about 3 inches of it's going to be in the emitter. So we've got about right at 30 inches of blade outside of the emitter, and about 3 more inches, 33, that are included inside the emitter. So speaking of the emitter, I usually kind of go from the bottom up, but we're already here, right? So something unique to this Darksaber are these emitter windows, and I'm usually quite fond of the emitter windows, but in this case, I don't know that they're screen accurate, and secondly, this saber kind of struggles to get light all the way to the tip. So let's turn it on and you'll see what I mean. So we've got plenty of light here in this emitter section, and just about halfway up the blade, it's fine. Once we get towards the bottom though, this top third, or the bottom, I'm sorry, the top, this top third is not very well lit. Well, you see the tip is lit just a little better than this section here, and I can't help but wonder if these emitter windows weren't here, whether or not a little more light would make its way up, but it needs a brighter LED. The design of the saber, is the thinness of it. It probably just doesn't afford a very large LED. You know, we talked about some dimensions and maybe a number I forgot, because this is my first truly rectangular slab of a hilt, but I didn't talk about the hilt height, because usually you measure the width and it's the same height, but in this case it isn't. So this is 1.772 inches deep, which makes it, in combination with the width, I mean, certainly it's not difficult to hold on to, but it's not as comfortable as I want it to be, but we'll get into that. We were talking about the LED. The blade is not quite as bright as I want it to be, but it is dual ready. And so maybe you have to give up something for that. So the handguard comes to a bit of a point down here on the corners. It's quite sharp, and you can easily catch yourself on that. And so using this like a sword, it is not terribly uncomfortable, but wielding it more like a lightsaber with a little more flourish, with a little more rotation, right? Spinning this is not super comfortable. Just the design is not as ergonomic. It doesn't fit the hand as well as a circular or oval hilt would do. And it's quite, I don't know, it's just not as comfortable. In combination, you've got these grooves. So these grooves do give you a little bit of lateral grip, but right here on the corners, there's a little bit of a sharp edge to them. And it can be a little, it's just uncomfortable. It's not really painful. And I don't know what this is for right here. I don't know if that is supposed to be for a unique, maybe belt clip where it fits inside of that. Because other than that, I can't find a purpose for it. All the sound comes out here at the side, which is kind of odd, but it does share some features with other Crimson Dawn sabers. First of all, it does have smooth swing. It does have flash on it. Well, it has a clash noise, but it does not flash. I've noticed it doesn't flash on clash. You've got a blaster block, and there's no flicker in the blade. It is RGB equipped, but it being a 2-button setup, you kind of have to. So that was the clash, which takes a. Well, I'm not even sure how I did it. It was some kind of combination of the 2 buttons, which is also how you change the blades. I held the top button and pressed the lower one, and held it for a few seconds. It started changing colors, which I like. But actually, some of the colors, work even less well than the white does. Plus, it's the Darksaber, right? Black with a little bit of white on the edges are kind of its thing. So I tend to keep it on the white. It does have 9 different sound fonts, like the majority of Crimson Dawn's sabers do. Turn it off.
Skywalker.
I believe the sound fonts are the same.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Oh, correction. So the lockup is actually pressing this top button for about 2 seconds and letting go. Oh, I don't even know what this bottom button does then. I just made it the RGB change by tapping the top button or holding it for about 3 seconds.
Something I want. The structure you are trapped in will be raised in short order.
All right, we got some sound bites in here. What do you think about this Clan Vizla Darksaber. Like it, don't like it, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be doing a full review on the Clan Ren version of the Darksaber, and then I'm going to be doing a comparison, a side-by-side comparison, and let you know at least my thoughts on the two of them and which one I prefer. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this content, let us know with a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel, and that's gonna do it. Thank you for watching.